guys, so I'm going to do my first nutritional video on this channel, actually, and not nutritional, but I mean just supplement and nutrition video. And I have to start it, out of everything there was, I had to start it with protein. And I think there's this huge just misconception and misunderstanding of what protein is, what it's needed for, and it comes down to amino acids. Proteins are made up of amino acids, but proteins are different things. If you look at proteins, viruses are proteins. Insulin is a protein, all right? It's made up of amino acids, 51 long chain of amino acids. I'm not going to get too scientific into these things. But there's things there are two essential things in your life that you need to eat is essential fatty acids and essential amino acids. There's no such fucking thing as an essential carbohydrate. No such thing. You can live without carbs unless you're one of those few people that have some kind of a diabetic issue. You can live without carbs. There's no such thing as an essential carb. I made the mistake of running the laundry right now, so if the machine's making noise, I apologize for that. So when you're trying to build muscle, all right, when you're trying to build a building, you need cement. You need to give it protein. And there's just, there's all kinds of, this is how much protein you need, this is how much protein you don't. You're overdoing it on protein, and it comes down to macros. For me, I overdo it on protein on purpose because I like to eat, I like to feel full. When you look at protein itself, and here's the biggest thing that frustrates me about fucking people when I'm talking to them at the gym. They will come up and tell me everything they're doing. I'm working all this out, and I'm like, what are you eating? That's your protein intake. They don't know. I'm like, okay, so you're basically, every day, you're telling me you're giving 100%. You hire 100 freaking people to show up and build a building. Every freaking day, you're hiring 100 people, you're like, go, work. How much cement are you giving them? Well, I don't know. Then what the fuck are you doing? If you're not giving them cement, you're not going to be able to build a building. It's that simple. It's that simple. Muscle is not made of carbohydrates. It's made of protein. It's made of amino acids. So my biggest pet peeve is that one. They will be like, yeah, that's why you look the same. Trust me on this. The moment you increase your protein intake, you're going to be like, oh, damn, you're giving your body everything it needs and then some. I would rather overdo it than underdo it. And there's the thing about studies is, when you look at studies that are funded by certain companies, a lot of times university studies are funded by people with certain interests, and a lot of times as a university researcher, you kind of sometimes have to, and I'd hate to say that happens, big pharma, or any other thing, sometimes you have to look at the broad spectrum of all of them, and also just relay, hey, you know what? This is kind of what works. This is kind of what's working in life. This is what I've noticed works for me personally, besides studies. Because a lot of times studies will find one thing or another depending on what the ultimate, they wanted them to find in the beginning. Because they can be, they can say it's double-blind, placebo tested, whatever. But at the end of the day, if they wanted them to find something about something, they're going to find that, all right? You can find some kind of correlation. So, sorry, I got one of my dogs. Hi, Papo. Say hi. Hi. Yeah, I know. Okay. So, protein. So you need protein. And for me, the thing I like about protein, okay, no, you don't need to shake right now. I'm on video. The thing I like about protein is protein itself is thermogenic. Your body burns a lot of calories just digesting it. To metabolize it, it's very taxing on the body. I'd say 30 to 40% of all the calories ingested from protein actually get metabolized and burnt up, breaking it down, because protein's like giving your body a brick wall. It's got to break that brick wall to get the amino acids or certain bricks it wants to go ahead and build things. There's a bunch of amino acids, but only a certain amount of essential ones. The body can make all the other amino acids out of those essential ones. So a lot of times when you're like, they're talking about incomplete proteins, and you're talking about plant proteins have a lot of non-essential amino acids. Whereas animal-based proteins have way more of the essential amino acids. And if you look at it like an essential amino acid, L-lysine, perfect example I love to use is in the movie Jurassic Park. The whole thing that they did was the creatures relied on L-lysine supplementation to stay alive, which is actually literally what we need to do, because if you don't get L-lysine, all kinds of bad stuff happens to your body. They relied on that. So they're like, they can't get off the island because we built some gene in there that they can't make it. You can't make it anyway. It's an essential one. But when they got off the island, what did they do? Well, they went out and they ate animals. They got the lysine. Animals are very rich in L-lysine. All right. So the biggest thing I have to say is you have to eat protein. Because one, if I eat 1,000 calories of protein, I burn 300 to 400 digesting and metabolizing it. I already burn calories just by eating calories. That's the beauty of the protein. If I eat 1,000 calories of carbs, I burn 6%. I burn 60 calories. 6%. I think fat is like 3%. All right. But you do need fats. Testosterone. There it is. Testosterone made of fat. It's actually made of cholesterol. So it's a cholesterol chain. So you do need fats. You don't need carbohydrates. That's the key thing. There's nothing in your body that requires carbohydrates. The beauty of it is your body, okay, because I'm going to correct that statement. Your body can make its own carbohydrates out of protein through a process called gluconeogenesis. There you go. Finally got it. Sorry. I was hiccuping at the same time I was trying to say it. So through gluconeogenesis. My biggest thing is, for me, I recommend, and this is, looking at scientific literature and everything, pretty much what you want to shoot for is a gram of protein per pound of body weight. I go higher than that. I go about 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So for my body weight, I'm usually looking at 300 and some grams a day. So I feed 6-7 times a day. So each one of my feedings has about 50 grams. That's how simple it is for me. I'm giving it. But everyone's like, oh, but you can only digest 30. That's bullshit. I don't know where the fuck they got that number from. Here's the thing. You have to think. The body is this amazing machine that's just built to survive and adapt. Your body's built to survive and adapt. The reason you build muscle, because your body doesn't want you to build muscle. It's metabolically inefficient. It doesn't want to have that because it has to continue to sustain it and feed it every day. The reason it does that is because it's constantly feeling these stressors, and it doesn't know that you're working out. All it knows is that this stress is happening to you and it needs to adapt to that stressor. And by doing so, it builds more muscle so that the next time that stressor hits there, you have the extra muscle to go ahead and do that. How does it build that? Through protein. So you got to add the protein. So that's one of the key things. The body's built on survivability. It's trying to survive every situation you can put it under. It doesn't know cardio is cardio. It doesn't know that you're doing cardio to burn fat and look like, a cover model. The body's like, shit, I'm either burning all these calories trying to hunt down food, or I'm burning all these calories trying to not be food. So the key thing is always remember, we are still at that caveman stage. Our body has not evolved from that. Our body doesn't know that it's constantly getting food. So when people say you can only digest 30 grams of protein, you're a fucking idiot. Because guess what? Back in caveman days, if you killed an animal every 3 days and that was the only protein you were getting, do you think it's only going to be like, oh, you only get 30 fucking grams? No, it slows digestion. So if you give it a bunch of freaking protein, the body slows digestion so it can absorb all of it. Your body's not retarded. It's not stupid. It's fucking really great and adaptation. So it's kind of like really fat people are super adapted to their environments. They're like super storage. All right. It's storing because it doesn't know if there's going to be a famine. That's the whole thing. Your body's always thinking famine. There's going to be a famine. I need to store. So by giving it protein, you're kind of tricking it. You're giving it protein that's metabolically inefficient. So I can eat, if I ate 3,000 calories of protein, I would burn 1,200 calories, or 1,000 calories, let's just say 1,000 calories just from digesting it. 1,000 calories. You ever done 1,000 calories on the fucking stepper? That's a lot. All right. That's a lot. But if I only had 1,000 calories of protein and 2,000 calories of carbs, then I would only burn 400, if that. See, so I'm looking at it as, hey, you know what? I get to eat more. One, I'm building more muscle. I'm providing the muscle. And why does it need protein? Well, it requires protein to activate several signals in the body. One of them, the key component, L-leucine, which is one of the branched chain amino acids, activates mTOR, which is the body's protein synthesis signaling. And that makes your body say, hey, you know what? I need to synthesize protein into muscle cells to build muscle cells. So, key things. You don't need supplemental protein. You can get it all. I mean, you don't have to get supplements to eat. You can get it from food. I don't have the time to sit down and eat 6 or 7 freaking meals. I don't have the patience to do that. I don't want to chew that much. I don't want to chew that much chicken. I don't want to chew that much turkey or eat that much fish. I really don't. So for me, I have 2 meals a day, and then I supplement it with 4 protein shakes. All right. And those 4 protein shakes have 50 grams of protein, about 48 to 50 some grams of protein per shake. That's what I do. Now, granted, you don't need to do that. You can go get actual food. If you can sit there and fucking eat, good for you. That's awesome. I can't. My stomach, I'll sit there and just chew. Like, I used to try to do this back in the day. Like, oh, okay, it's time to eat tuna fish. And I'd be there chewing and I'll be like just wanting to spit it out. So for me, the convenience comes in protein shakes. So protein shakes I recommend. I don't recommend plant-based proteins. I don't recommend soy-based proteins. They are estrogenic somewhat. So, and people will argue left and right about that, but they're estrogenic. Soy is estrogenic. I don't like the mouthfeel of pea protein. I'm not saying pea protein's bad. I don't like the mouthfeel of it. And most people I've talked to that take it don't really like the way it kind of digests with them either. That's just a pure pea protein supplement, which is kind of what everyone's kind of pushing nowadays. If you guys saw Game Changers, James Cameron has about $180 million invested in one of the key pea protein producing companies. Hence, the whole fucking bandwagon. Guess who jumped on it? Mark Wahlberg. But if you're eating pea protein, that's great. It's not going to be as high in L-leucine and branched-chain amino acids as other proteins. That's one thing you need to remember. And you're looking at about a 5-gram bolus of L-leucine, right, or dosage of L-leucine to kind of ramp up what you want as far as mTOR or protein synthesis. So you get that 5 grams in 2 scoops of any animal-based protein, whether it's a milk protein or a beef protein or an egg protein. All of those will have about 5 grams in a 50-gram dosage. I think whey protein isolate might be the highest in L-leucine content by about 1 gram. So at 100 grams, it'll have 13 grams, whereas other proteins will have 12. But you're looking at, if I take 50 grams, you're getting about 6 grams. The perfect dosage right there to boost that. L-leucine is anti-catabolic. If you're on a low carbohydrate diet, L-leucine levels in the blood are much higher. Hence, you're in an anti-catabolic state, which is why I always recommend a high-protein diet. I don't like carbs. I don't recommend carbs. Why don't I like carbs? Because carbs make you fat. It's that simple. There's only one storage hormone in the body. One. It's insulin. It's coincidentally made of a protein or amino acid structure. And it's the one in the body that tells it, hey, store. We need to store. And the way it's activated is by eating carbohydrates. So if you eliminate insulin from the equation, your body's not in storage mode. All right, it's in burning mode. And the moment you're doing that, okay, you're lowering carbohydrates, you're keeping fats at, a decent level. I'm not a keto guy. I'm not like this high fat guy. Like I keep hearing about, I put this fat bomb in my fucking coffee. I'm like, okay, high fat is not good for you either. But when you lower the carbs, up the protein, you've increased the thermogenic effect of food. Boom. It's called non-exercised activated thermogenesis. Burning more calories. So I can eat more food, burn more calories at the same time, providing my body the necessaries it needs to build muscle. That's the whole point. I want to build muscle. I keep hearing you need carbs to build muscle. You don't. I'm the perfect example. You guys have seen what, I was able to do within a month, losing weight, changing my body, my workout routine. I was able to build muscle. My wife is a perfect example. She has been on a low carb diet for over 1.5 years, and she has become a fucking beast. All right, high protein. I've put her on some supplements. She's added some more muscle. The Moab is one of them that I'll make a video on. But again, it's the Moab. The key ingredients are derived from L-leucine, which is the key thing I'm telling you need to eat, which is why you need to eat protein. So my go-tos, there is Isotope. It's a whey protein isolate. It's a combination of it's a really good protein. The problem I have with Isotope, and I've encountered other people, even though they say they take the lactose out because lactose intolerance is a big thing. I get stomach discomfort. I get stomach distress. My stomach, I get bloated. There's some kind of allergic reaction that happens to me. But it's a really good protein. It doesn't happen to everybody, but there's a lot of people that are like, I took protein and I felt, bigger and I gained weight. Well, yeah, you probably had a reaction to it. So I've been using MRE-Lite for a while now. Comes in 14 different fucking flavors. They're all delicious, except I didn't really like the peppermint bark. I'm gonna be honest with you. The rest of them are fucking to die for. I'm not, and it's horrible. I'm not like a snickerdoodle person, but I love snickerdoodle MRE-Lite. I'm not a gingerbread cookie, but the gingerbread cookie MRE-Lite s'mores. They come in delicious flavors, but this one's a combination of isolates and regular proteins, so it's fast digesting. That's the other thing I don't like about isolates so much. they're already pre-broken down for you. So the body doesn't have to work as hard to break them down. But the problem is, if they're already pre-broken down like that, it's very easy for your body to create glucose or sugar or carbs from that via that process. So you don't want to give it a huge bolus of this, because it's very easy for gluconeogenesis to happen, and then you create some sugars from that. You don't want to do that. You want more of a slow digesting protein. The other thing is consistency. This is going to be a very watery shake, all right? Whereas this one's a very thick shake. So if I'm drinking a very thick shake, I'm very full, I'm satiated, I don't feel like eating, at least for immediately after I have the shake. I know a lot of people are like, I drank the shake and I still fucking wanted to eat. Well, it's a lot thicker shake. It's a combination of proteins, but it does have beef isolate. So at least half of it is going to be, in your system quickly. So it's good for pre-workout, post-workout, whenever. But the rest of them, the salmon, chicken, egg, even brown rice and some pea protein in it, are going to digest a lot slower. So it's a slow digesting protein. So you're constantly getting that ability to get those amino acids. And there's a limit to the amount of amino acids you can actually utilize or process at a certain amount of time. You'll use all the protein. That's the key thing. Is I hear, oh, you're just gonna poop it out, or that's stupid. That is dumb. Look at lions. They don't eat every day, all right, and they're fucking muscular as shit. So, and then the counter argument. Well, look at gorillas. Well, they spend all fucking day eating. That's all they do from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep. They're eating fucking plants. If you want to eat sticks and bamboos all day, good for you. I'd rather just drink my protein. So what I do personally, wake up, do my cardio, 2 scoops of this. About 2 hours later, I'll have a scoop of this and some low protein, they're like cereal snacks. Then I'll have an actual meal or a protein bar, low carb protein bar, for lunch. Then I'll have another scoop or 2 of these. Then I actually have another scoop before I go to the gym. Then I'll go to the gym, have 2 scoops after the gym. Then I'll eat an actual meal. And then, if I still have time left, I'll take another scoop or 2, all right? I'm constantly, I will go through one of these in 4 days. You're like, holy shit, that's so expensive. It's not, because I'm going to tell you why. I'm actually only eating 2 meals a day, if that. And they're cheap meals, all right? It's chicken, broccoli, cauliflower. They're very cheap meals to go ahead and make. Kitty, no, I'm making a video, thank you. But I will see people go out and eat every fucking day. Every day they bring in something to eat. They went to Chick-fil-A, they went to this place. You'll spend $8. All right, so if you shop smart, you can usually get these 40% off. Today they were buy one, get one free for the 5-pounder. So you're looking at paying $23 for this thing. And let's say you were using it 3 times a day at 1 scoop. It's 10 days worth. All right, and that's what you would spend on 4 days of just lunch. 3 days of just lunch. 3 days of eating out lunch. This is what it would cost you. 3 days of eating out lunch, and it would provide you 3 meals for 10 days. For me, I go through these in 4 days, but it's still providing me 4 meals a day for 4 days, all right? And I don't eat out, all right? So you can afford it. Just stop fucking eating out. That's the biggest problem. I hear everybody's like always eating out. I'm like, no, it's very easy. I take these with me. I have them in a shaker cup. Just shake the cup up, boom. It's convenient. I don't have time to sit down. I teach. I'm teaching all fucking day. I don't have time to sit down and have a meal and be like, oh, okay, hold on, kids. No, I got to between the bell ringing, I'm putting water in, I'm shaking it up, and I'm drinking it. Boom. I sit down for my 30-minute lunch. Boom. I eat that. Bell rings again. 2 hours later. Boom. That's how I do it. So that's my explanation on protein. I hope you guys get it. You just have to eat your protein. Have to eat a higher amount of protein. It doesn't matter if you miss one, as long as you make it up. Your whole protein intake per day is really what you want to look at. I wouldn't take it all at once. I don't like the intermittent fasting in that you just have this 8-hour period, because I tend to overeat. I'm a binger, so I'd be like, oh shit, I'm gonna run out of time to eat. I gotta fucking load up. I wouldn't do that. But as long as your whole entire protein consumption for the day is matching up. So, if you missed it, I used to be like, oh my God, it's a half hour past the time I was supposed to do it. You're going to be fine. The body's an amazing thing. It's slowed down the metabolism of the metabolism of the protein you ate earlier. It's still trying to break that down. So you're going to be fine. You're looking at whole day protein consumption, at least 1 gram per pound of body weight. 1.5 would be optimal. I kid you not. The moment you hit 1.5, the moment I was at 2 grams, because that was difficult to keep at. The moment I was at 2 grams a day, I felt good. I felt better. I was more energized. I was recovering quicker. I wasn't as sore. I literally was feeling myself get stronger every fucking workout. So that's the amazing thing about protein is getting it in there because you're getting the anabolic nutrients in there into your system. All right. So that's protein for you guys. I know I kind of rambled on. I hope I didn't confuse anybody, but takeaway is protein ups your metabolism. You can't get fat off protein. I've heard that a million times. Oh, I drank protein shakes, it made me fat. Then I'm like, okay, I'll fucking entertain it. Tell me what. They were making fucking smoothies. They're like, well, I was putting bananas and fucking honey. Honey's natural sugar. You know what else is natural? Sugar. We already went over carbohydrates make you fat. They activate insulin. Insulin causes storage. Your body, the moment it's like, fucking insulin's out, let's store everything. And that's how you get fat. Combination of sugars and fats makes you fat. Protein will not make you fat because it's thermogenic. You burn a lot of it. You would literally have to just be eating tubs of protein to gain weight. And the thing is, in studies where they've overfed people protein, that's the beauty of it. They've overfed regular people, not even people that were exercising. They overfed people protein. I think like only 4%, like it was a super small, actually gained any fat. Most of them lost weight, and the largest majority of them, I'd say like 80-90%, gained muscle without even fucking working out. That's the beauty of it. And those, you know, I want to say the Sports Science Journal, the International Sports Science Journal was one of the ones that ran that, one of those studies. So they've done those studies. So you can't get fat off protein. Stop being just stop. I hate when people are like, oh, shut up. You know what made you fat? Sitting on your ass. What made you fat? All those carbs, those fruits, they're not good for you. Fructose, not good for you. It's a whole other topic of another thing. But fruit sugar, that I guess natural sugar, it can only be processed by the liver, just like alcohol. So the moment the liver's like, yo, I can't process anymore, it immediately shuttles it to fat storage. So there's a lot of misconceptions, but I'm sticking to protein. This is my protein video. It's already at 22 minutes, and I don't even fucking remember what I talked about. All right, so key takeaway. If your protein's high and you're hitting the gym, good for you. That's what you need to do. Focus on your protein intake. I'm a big stickler to bro science. You need to have that protein immediately after the gym. You have some protein before the gym. That's just me. Body's in a state of stress. You're giving it nutrients it needs in a state of stress. It'll take them. All right, so that's just me. You don't have to have it directly after your workout. There's not that 30-minute anabolic window. But to me, in my mind, I prefer it. It works for me. I do it. I've been doing it. I'm not going to fucking break what works for me. All right. I'm not going to jinx myself. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was long, but that's protein for you in a nutshell in 22 minutes. Jesus Christ. It was like a 5-minute video and I made it 22 minutes. I just love to talk. All right, guys. Y'all have a great night. I will be doing my next video is going to be on pre-workouts. I love pre-workouts. Can't live without pre-workouts. It's my #1 supplement I recommend everyone take besides protein, but protein should be a given. You need protein, it's a given, but you know, if you got the extra money, pre-workout, that's where it is, because that's what's going to help you push to break down the muscle cells. And then once you're providing it all the protein, boom, growth and transformation. All right, guys, I'm out. You'll have a